I still remember the day I came to know that there is the St. Bernard who is looking for a place, and I just jumped at it. The moment Zubi walked in, she was most unlike anything that you would think of a St. Bernard. She was almost bald, had no teeth, and only thing was her eyes. Her eyes were like she was a sage or a saint of 100 years old, and she just walked in coolly, calmly, as if she owned the place, as if she had come home, and she just went and sat in a corner. And that was, you can say, love at first sight. And despite her bedraggled and absolutely situation where nobody would want to actually keep the dog, I just knew that Zubi was here to stay. And I remember my daughter, who's now the most committed in looking after Zubi, and cannot think a moment without Zubi, and keeps reminding me that if I did anything good in my life, it was one of the best things was to keep Zubi. She was so irritable that day to get this smelly, welly, bedraggled dog, and was wondering, when we already had 2 dogs, why was I adding another third one? Did we really need one more? But for me, I knew that I could not let Zubi go. I did my best as a good parent to look for homes, probably in cooler climates, gave an ad, and had lots and lots of interviews. But in the end, I decided that I have to keep Zubi. And that's how Zubi came into my life. Dog food versus home cooked food. I feel dog food, if you get the right kind of dog food, it is good. But India unfortunately does not have choices for the kind of dog food one would ideally like to give. Royal Canin, out of a lot of research that I've done, seems to be the one that is best suited.
Volunteers to come in and walk, because it's not all of fun and game. Look at the welfare of stray dogs is an NGO that looks after street dogs, and we run a mass sterilization and immunization program. You must remember that earlier the BMC used to kill street dogs, and it had no effect on bringing down rabies or the stray dog population. We've been sterilizing dogs, and we've sterilized about 45,500 dogs in the past 10 years, and that has really brought down the street dog population, and human rabies deaths have gone down drastically. At the kennels, the dogs are brought in by our ambulances or the municipal corporation. They are kept for sterilization, for post-operative care, and once their stitches heal, they are put back in the same place where they're brought from. 3 months ago, we got a call on our helpline saying there's a dog we didn't know that it was a pure long-haired German Shepherd, tied opposite the Hajj House building near Crawford Market. There was a little note on the dog, and it said that our family cannot keep Bruno, because Bruno actually is the only dog whose original name we know. He was about 4-5 months old then. very sad. And of course, at the beginning, because he was traumatized, he used to not trust people and so on. So, of course, all our adoptions, we have an animal behaviorist who comes and works on them. An old resident from Pasi Colony, Dadar, called us and said that there is a abandoned Labrador, a female, and with some tumor. And so we were going to send the van, and then she called back and said, don't send. In fact, some local person who had seen the dog said, I don't mind taking it. After 2 days, again she called and said that person just came back and called me and said, sorry, I can't keep the dog. Maybe she didn't realize that the dog had health issues in the form of tumor. And Sheila is again a very sweet but over exuberant dog, and she had a huge mammary tumor. So after a battery of blood tests, etc., once she was fit for surgery, we removed the tumor. Our surgeon removed the tumor, and now she is fine, if you see, and again looking for a good home. So again, this was another case of a dog that was, kept by somebody who then realized that could not look after her because of the health issue and just abandoned her, which is not only cruel but illegal.